Hello and welcome to the video for Friday evening, April the 3rd. This covers the work from April the 3rd. We were working with finding equivalent fractions. So this was a task that we had a little bit of difficulty on when we first did it, but I think people are starting to get a little bit better. But I do want to give a chance to practice before we go on to some new materials. So let's go ahead and take a look at our problems. Number one, Xavier multiplied the numerator and denominator of 5 6 by a number to get the fraction 25 30ths. Which number did Xavier use? We would multiply 5 times 5 to get to 25, 6 times 5 to get to 30, so that would be letter B. Number four, which fraction with a denominator of 10 is equivalent to 4/5? So I'm going to ask, what number can I multiply 5 by to get to 10? That would be 2, so I'm going to multiply this number by 2, and that gives me 8/10. Which model shows an equivalent fraction to 2/3? So this would be one section, this would be one section, this would be one section, so this would be my 2/3. Number five, which is a pair of equivalent fractions. So our answer would be letter D. I can multiply the top and bottom number by 3 to get an equivalent fraction. Number six, which fraction is not equivalent to the others? So I'm going to start with this one. If I drop the zeros off the end of it, I'm going to get 3/8. And then if I take 15/40ths, divide by 5, I get 3/8. If I take this one and divide by 3, I get 3/8. So letter A is the one that would be different. This would reduce down to 1/3. Number three, what is the missing numerator? So across the bottom with the denominator, I multiplied by 2, which means I have to multiply the top number by 2, and that would be letter D, 10. Number seven, which fraction is equivalent to 2/4? So we are looking for things that the top number is half as large as the bottom number, because this will eventually reduce down to 1/2 as well. So 4 is half of 8, 20 is half of 40, 6 is half of 12. And that's the way that I would think about that one, just to be able to do it more quickly. Number 8, so we are going to find equivalent fractions for 1/5. So if I multiply by 2, I would get 2/10. If I multiply by 3, I would get 3/15. If I multiply by 4, I would get 4/20. And so that covers both of those. If I take 1/3 and multiply it by 2, I would get 2/6, then 3/9, which I don't see, then 4/12, and I think that's the only one that we have for that one. 1/10, I can actually multiply anything with, well, actually it would be 2/20 would be the equivalent one for that one, and that would be the only one that works. 3/4, I would get 6/8 and 9/12. Number 10, I went ahead and completed for us. So we are taking the bottom number, multiplying it by 2. So we're going to multiply the top number by 2 to get from 4 to 8. We're multiplying 1 times 4 to get to 4. We're going to do 3 times 4 to get to 12. 4 times 2 gives us 8. 3 times 2 gives us 6. 4 times 2 again gives us 8. 6 times 2 gives us 12. And number 13, compare each fraction to 2/5. So 2/10 is going to actually be smaller. It is not equivalent. 4/10 would be multiplying the top and bottom number by 2. 8/12 would be different. 20/10 is definitely going to be different, because that would be 2 whole groups. 20/100 is going to reduce down to 1/5. And this one would reduce down to 2/5. So those should be our two answers for that. So just a couple quick announcements. Again, this will be the last video of this week. On Monday, we will be starting packets. I will have a lesson ready to go for that packet lesson at 8 a.m. on Monday, understanding that once you guys are able to eventually pick up the packets, you'll be able to do that. And then on Tuesday, I'll have the homework video. The schedule will be included. I'll email the schedule, put it on Google Classroom as well for the students that are able to access that. On days that we do not have a new lesson, I will be doing a Zoom call I mentioned Google Hangouts. We don't have the ability to do that because of settings. So Zoom, it'll make it easier for everyone. They can get on regardless of device. It doesn't have to be signed in with a student email account to be able to access the call. I'll send out the link. Anybody that clicks on the link can come in and join. So I'll be doing office hours. I'll be able to answer questions about the work that we're doing because we will be doing a lot of new work starting next week. So hopefully that will help. And then on the days that they don't have to do new lessons, they can come in, ask some questions, and spend time and have that count for their math for the day. Or they can do Prodigy and send a picture of doing that. Or I can usually see the progress results if they're logged into an account that's tied to the fourth grade class for that. So hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.